G'day team, it's Hamish here from Automower Tech, and today we're going to have a look at the 305 and who is it for. So the 305 is a model that's designed to do up to 600 square meters. It's in the 300 series, so it's a basic model but very effective on the small lawns, and it's got more than enough grunt to cover lawns up to 600 square meters. So a few of the features and how it works we'll get into as the video goes on. So it is a very compact model, it's easy to handle, so if you are, say, elderly or well retired, we could say, some of these units keep people in their property longer or save them from getting a lawn care guy in, so it can save them a wee bit of money because they don't have to worry about getting that guy in once a week or once every 2 weeks, which nothing against anyone that mows lawns for a living. My parents do that as well a little bit. But anyways, you can't keep up with an Automower because it's going to give you that 7-day-a-week finish on your lawn. So this model, 9.4 kilo, really compact. We're only 57 centimeters long, 43 centimeters wide, and 25 centimeters high. We've got a cutting system, a 22 centimeter cut. This is going to cut about 63 square meters an hour. The unit can run and charge for up to 10 hours per day. It's not made to run round the clock like some of the other bigger models, and it doesn't need to. So you've got a 10-hour window of mowing that you can do per day, mow and charge. So a little bit more about the cutting system while we're taking a look at it. You've got the whole cutting deck here. We've got a manual cutting height adjuster. So this deck and the safety buffers, because it's quite narrow and compact, it's got these little brackets here that help it a little bit. This whole unit will go up and down. 20 to 50 mil is your cutting height on this model. Like all the other Husqvarna models, you've got your skid plate and your 3 rotating razor blades. You've got holes in your skid plate, so when it comes to change the blades, probably about once every 3 months on this model, you can just get your screwdriver in there and change the blades over, no worries. But the skid plate, it's got a separate bearing from the cutting disc. What that does, if something comes in contact with it, like a windbone branch or a kid's toys left on the lawn or something like that, or a dog bone, excuse me, those blades can just flick out of the way. The skid plate will take most of the load of it, and then the mower can register that there's a jam or a block, and it will shut down the motor to not have any other damage. But with this whole system like that, it's really good because it's quiet, it doesn't bind up, and slicing grass is going to give you the neatest finish you can get. So you can mow during the night, and when you're sleeping, this will go straight past the bedroom and it won't be any of an issue. How the unit drives, you've got 2 independent motors for your back wheels. They're basically pushing the unit round, and you've got your front wheels that toggle as your wheel brakes and drives. It's the same as all the 2-wheel drive models that Husqvarna produces. It's a really good system. It's easy for a mower to navigate around. There are other versions, and someone's going to say that are 3-wheel models, and the earlier models of the 305, they drove the opposite way around. So this was the back, this was the front instead of the back, and they had 1 wheel in the middle. But the current 305 has your 2 trolley wheels and drives off your 2 wheels like that, and 2 back wheels. We also have, I'll just chuck this down, easy to access and service front wheels. They click in and out. So if in the future you wore one of these out and need to do something for maintenance, you can take these out without having to remove the whole upper chassis and switching it out. So that's a good add-on feature that Husqvarna's added to the newer models that they're producing as they go forward and keep evolving these units. With this model and your cutting height adjustment there, you've got your manual toggle here, so you can incrementally change this. So there's your 20 to 50 mil change there. You've got your keypad, pin code accessible every time you go into the mower. You also have Bluetooth connectivity. You can't connect with this unit away from home unless you have the Automower Connect module added to this, which is additional over and above. So many people, if they want in the base model, they'll find that they don't really need that. If they are, they probably won't chuck that module into this, and they'll often go to the 405. So if you are looking at a lawn that'll do this one here, you also need to consider this one, the 305. versus the X-Line series, which is the 405X. So there's a few more bells and whistles and advancements on the 405 over the 305, but I've got another video, so check that one out, and you can make up your mind yourself. But the 305 is the most cost-effective one. The 405 is about 37% dearer than the 305 at the time of this video. So yeah, you've got your power on and off, your stop button. You can tell it to park. You can do this on your phone as well, and change all your internal settings and stuff through the menu there. This system, the 305, is a wired version, so it relies on a boundary wire, and you have a boundary wire around the perimeter of your lawn, and you have an internal wire, a guide wire, going through the centre of your lawn there. With this model here, it does not have GPS mowing like your 405 does, and your higher up models for larger areas like your 430 and your 450, but it's not at a disadvantage because you're on the small end of the scale as far as lawns go. You can have a lot of complexity, and it's going to bounce around and find its way into those different areas with enough of a mowing schedule there. Also, if you want to go and wrap around your house, say you want to go over a patio and through a garden and over your driveway again, and then worst case through another garden, but you wouldn't want any more than three places more past the first patio. But say if you want to cross a patio and a pathway, so you had 3 sections, you got your main area, and then you go across the patio, and then you cross another pathway. You can tell this and program it in to how far it will go down that guide wire. It'll leave the charge station after a charge cycle and go down the wire X amount of meters. So if we set it to start 50 meters down a guide wire, we could tell it to start and mow there 50% of the time. So every time it leaves the charge station, 50% of the time, it'll go to that one point, start mowing. In the next area you could set it to 30%, and then the remaining area you could not set at all, or you could it'll just come out of the charge plate and mow there and hit that area. So there's a lot that you can do with that. We've got ones that go over patios and driveways and stuff, so no worries, and they look pretty cool going across one. So I'll put a video on here. There's one we've got that goes across a 9.5 meter patio, and that's pretty cool. That was on a new build. Many people do a self-install when it comes to the 305, because there's not the sheer meterage of wire that you have in a larger model. It is a lot easier to do your own installs. You do want to do a little bit of homework so you know where to position that wire and how a guide wire works and how it all joins in bits and pieces. Your dealer can help you out with that, or me, with any advice you might need, and a good dealer will give you phone support if you get stuck. It is often that people will set up their wire, and then I'll come in and install the charge plate, check out the system, and change all the settings and help them with the fine tuning and bits and pieces of that. So that's kind of a bit of a balance. We get a few people that do that as well. So they're confident enough to put the wire in, they take all the instructions, and I give them the heads up was what to do, and then we get the charge plate in when they're done that and go for it. But otherwise, you never go wrong if you get an installer to do it. You're going to get the wire put in the right position first time up. So this is your charge plate, and if this is your front of the lawn here, you would normally have your charge plate about a third onto the lawn or so. Ideally, you can have these back, but I always recommend to have any charge plate a third onto the lawn unless you've got a very wide access, because the mower will mow around the charge plate while it's operating. So if you have it off the lawn, it can be more problematic, and also just means it can't dock if that comes down to an incorrect installation. So got the feet of the charge station on there. When the mower returns, it's going to toggle around, line itself up to the charge plate, and then dock. So once again, with a 2.1 amp battery in here, we're going to mow time about 70 minutes and a charge time of about 60 minutes. So to sum it up, it's a really good unit, up to 600 square meters. Really easy, really quiet, small and compact, looks tidy in your backyard, and it'll keep your lawn tip-top shape. Any questions, shoot them below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.